Hello, hello, hello. Here we go again. Part 6 of the sim rebuild. Things have moved on a bit. I have stuff on the left wall, stuff on the right wall, and I have a screen that has a little bit of tensioning. So, where I left you last time was the screen was kind of up, the ceiling protection was up, and if I recall right, as it was a couple of days ago, or a few days ago, I was going to be putting angle iron up. So, what have I got? I now have slotted angle iron up the full length in line with the fixing, the eye plates that's at the top. Same thing on the right hand side. Then as part of the design I thought, oh great, so I've got that now, all I need to do is attach the screen to it. And I would normally use these ROV top tarpaulin clips, the ones that have the screw on them to make it easy to tension a knot. However, they are quite big. They're actually about 3.5 inches in length. And if I was going to use these, which I did kind of originally prototype, I would be lining that up there. The material would be coming in, about that far, to where my thumb is. And you'd end up with that kind of gap, something like that. That would be, excuse me, a gap between the angle line, which isn't a concern where my image has lots of space on the sides. And I could therefore have curtain protection in some way, maybe a curtain rail on the wall that would just bring it in and, butt up and make sure that you can't see anything behind there. However, for some people that are a bit more limited on space, I wondered if there was a better approach. And, it's early days for this, given I've not played any golf in anger. I've hit plenty of test shots. I found these little bad boys. Now, this is like the tiniest tarpaulin clip I've ever seen. So just to compare with the ROV top, it really is. However, it's just the same. If you get a close look at it, you basically just flick that back, which I'll show you shortly. You flick that top bit back there. You then put the material into the jaws, and then you flick that back, and it grabs it. And is it going to be strong enough to do the job? Well, yes. This material is actually quite absorbent anyhow. This is the Hybrid Me Type 3 screen, and it's really quite sturdy in terms of being a thick, absorbent screen. When you hang it, it kind of hangs quite nicely and doesn't require a lot of stretching and, pulling on it and tensioning with all these kind of bungee cords you get with a lot of other designs. So it's actually ideal that all I needed was just to pull it taut enough to get the fixings out. So I've done that on these sides. I've got one there, one there, one there. It's a little bit fiddly, but it doesn't take long. And it just means there's hardly any screen. There's no gap between the two, and I just use cable ties, quick and easy, to secure it to the slotted angle line. I've done the same thing over on the left-hand side to basically smooth out the image, which you can see there. Let me just get the golf actually on the screen again so you get an idea of what it would look like. And that's worked really well. And then I thought, well, even then I want to cover up the fixings. Because I've got this slotted angle line, I was just going to stick something to the angle line that was going to come in a bit and probably would give a really neat edge. As it is, I happen to have some of this material, which is the same as these, that has a pocket sewn into it. So I thought, how can I do something quickly, easily that will do the job? I had some bungee cord lying around, so simply bungee cord through that eyelet, bungee cord through the slotted angle line near the top. I slotted it through the little pocket that's sewn into one part of this, and again I'll provide links to this. It's only, about £10 for the side curtain. Same thing on the left hand side. I used the only knots that I know, which is a granny knot. I did do Boys Brigade, but they must have taught me something more, but all I can tie is a granny knot, so a granny knot at each end, and we effectively have a framed image. It's cosmetic. From my point of view, I've got plywood now behind there. In the odd event of a towed one or a shank, I don't care if it's going to hit the curtain. If you do care about that, you'd probably end up with having some kind of curtain rail slightly in from the wall, or padding on the wall itself if you're really short for space. And you might tension it, so you can either go with that approach where you have a tension side protection, or, as I say, if you want to get the full space, you'd have padding on the wall, and you'd probably just bring the padding in far enough so it actually just covers up the fixings on the side. Maybe a sheet of ply or something, or whatever it could be. I think yoga mats, foam tiles, carpet, marine grade carpet, all those things work. One other thing I was going to mention is the screen itself. Now, I do have a fair bit of room on the left side and a bit of room on the right side. It's slightly more on the right. The reason is my projector's fixed from the previous build, so I'm kind of building everything around being central to the projector fixing. In the ideal world, now I wanted a 4K short throw projector and there aren't many. In fact, this was the only one I could find, the 4K, Optoma 4K 550 ST. And it doesn't have a zoom. So effectively, I was forced to kind of fix it where my previous projector was because I couldn't be bothered to move all the stuff, and it's pretty much done the job perfectly. In the ideal world, I would probably bring it back just a touch so I can gain another 2-3 inches on the width and do the job there. I mean, this is a 16:9 enclosure, but it's just to say, if everyone's thinking, well, actually you can gain a bit more space, that's why I haven't just made it 2 inches further. Plus, you know, I don't really need that extra space. Now, I don't have the flooring yet, so I will be getting the turf in, and I'll do another video after that. I haven't quite worked out the mat combos, how it's going to be put together, so I'll wait till the next video to show you what I've come up with in the end. But the furniture did all right, so this area is now a lot neater. I don't know if any of my other videos have shown it, but it was a right mess before. Now everything's nicely stowed away and accessible. I may end up having a little table just so I can reach the keyboard and use the touchscreen monitor a bit closer, maybe like I did before. Haven't worked that out yet. But yes, so as far as how it looks, just do a little flyby. So again, I did this on the previous video. Nothing's really changed. It's just a slightly smoother image with the tensioning out of it. Yeah, all looks great. Really happy with that. I'll do the 4K demo that I did before. It is an Optoma one, again, just so people may be interested in what it looks like when you've got a 4K image on an impact screen, not a dedicated cinema screen. And this is the Hybrid Me Type 3 screen material. This is me standing about 4 meters from the screen. And as I said on the previous video, I mean, it looks fantastic. I've not used a dedicated, this is my internet slowing down. It's not anything, it's not street. Come on, internet, catch up. And yeah, it looks great. If I go to my hitting position, this is where I'm roughly going to be standing for my hitting position. And again, you know, the level of detail. And if I go up to, what would this be, about 1.5 meters away, again, you can see the detail. And this is on a, as I say, Hybrid Me Type 3 impact screen material, not a dedicated cinema screen. From my point of view, sitting back at the back of the room, watching movies, sport, gaming, I don't really see why I would have a dedicated cinema screen. I'd be very happy with this as my image for movies, for multi-purpose, if anyone is looking at building a simulator for multi-purpose. Now, I will be doing a further video, possibly two. One showing the turf going in and how it looks. One possibly, I don't know if I'm going to fix the bottom there. I haven't really worked that out. And obviously integrating a hitting strip or stance mat or not, again, to show what I come up with. I'll be doing a video shortly before I do that, where I'm actually taking part in some of the competitions and playing golf, because you want to see how it reacts. As I say, from throwing a ball, the tension's really nice. It just kind of hits it and drops. I get a little bit more bounce back if I hit wedges near the top of the impact screen. I think most people do, because the ball can actually kind of roll up the screen, hit the ceiling protection and fly back. And it will, with a 60-degree wedge, it can come back to around my feet. Whether that means I end up putting the shank tank on the GC2, I don't know. I'll leave that for time to decide. I mean, I do have the shank tank. What else? And I will do a video, as I said, breaking down all of these components. Now, as I did on the last one where I went through them all, I'm not looking to be a reseller for curtain material, for wire fixings, for carbine hooks. You know, all these things are available through competitively priced companies, metal companies. Metals for You, the metal store I use for a lot of the metal fixings. This is a NEWER, N-E-E-W-E-R backdrop screen for photography. Same thing with the one along the top. So you can get them in different colours, different sizes. And again, side curtains are about a tenner. The ceiling one was about £30, so they're really well priced. Eye hooks, as mentioned, all that stuff. You know, what I am interested in is if you want any advice with building a simulator, if you're looking at buying a SkyTrack, please use the SkyTrack code that I have. Which the SkyTrack promotion is running. It's extended until the 15th of January, I think it is, this year. So if you are still looking at building a simulator and want £250 off, please use the Hybrid Me 250 code coupon at the checkout at Sky Golf. And if you want other screen material, do let me know. This is, as I say, the Type 3. The more budget end archery screen is kind of an alternative But for most people, I think this Type 3 will give the best image. Very multi-purpose if you're looking at gaming and cinema. It's just not going to be as heavy duty as an archery net will be if you're looking at commercial, lots of people hitting golf balls, or if you're really looking at minimal cost and need a finished screen with eyelets and all those elements. I hope that's been useful. I couldn't really, again, I keep saying I couldn't be happier with how progress is here. I'm hoping I'm not going to get angry this year that this space, without having the frame, it actually just feels more airy, nicer. I mean, it is a bit wider. It's a more calm environment for me to certainly be hanging out. Whether it stays that way when I start hitting golf balls, and particularly when I hit golf balls badly, only time will tell. And stay tuned for a future video. Any questions, let me know. Any comments, please let me know. If you find these useful or entertaining or helpful in any way, please subscribe and please let me know. And if you want me to do any videos on anything else, just suggest it and I'll probably go ahead and do it. I might do a few music videos shortly. I'm going to have a guitar. This is a risky idea. Good or bad idea? Here's a poll. I'll try and work out how to do that on the YouTube video. Mount my electric guitar on this left wall. One, when I get angry, I can just go and pick it up and start playing, which chills me out and have a good sing-along. But secondly, it might stop me smacking a ball against that wall in rage. Yeah, good or bad idea? I think I know which, but I think it's a very good idea at the moment. Goodbye. Till next time. Till part 7 or whatever it's called. Bye.